Hey guys, Thomas from Team Satellarknight here, come at you with the Satellarknight deck profile for March. Now this deck's been a whole lot of fun ever since Pop Avarice came back to one. It really helped out the deck. So I revisited it and I've been having some pretty good luck with it actually in this build. So getting into it, 3 Satellarknight Deneb. This searches you any Satellarknight on summon. So you want to see a turn 1, obvious 3 of. 3 Satellarknight Altair. When it's summoned, you get to reborn a Satellarknight from your grave like Deneb, and then you get search. However, you can only attack with Satellarknights that turn, which isn't that bad of a restriction. It could have been you can only summon Satellarknights. That would have been a whole lot worse. So, 3 Unukahai. I don't know if I mispronounced that. If I did, just rail me in the comments. This guy, Foolish Burial. So if you open him up, you can summon him, send your Deneb, so you have one engraved, and then you could reborn it. So, and then 2 Vega. So, people like to complain about ratios with this, I've seen. 1's too little because you don't see it, along with it. This is good to send with Unukai depending on your hand. This lets you special from hand, so it lets you go into your bigger XYZs that take 3 level 4s, like Deltros, Triver, and whatever else you're playing. And, yeah, 3's too much, bricks a bit. 2's perfect. 2's perfect for me. And then we have 1 Alsham. So when this is summoned, you burn your opponent for 1,000. It comes up in time. I hate going into time, but sometimes you do. Or sometimes you just need a little extra damage. It's a good one of. A lot more players are playing it now, and I'm happy about that. We have 3 Ash, and then we have 2 Ogre. Sometimes you can't go first, so these are your interrupts. I side whichever hand trap is doing the least amount to the deck I'm playing. So usually Ash is pretty good, but there's times where I side it out. Sometimes Ogre just kills, and sometimes I have to side it out. So, yeah. Then we have Pot of Avarice. If you're living under a rock and you don't know what this does, it shuffles back 5 monsters and you get to draw 2. So it's a +1 and you get to recycle your monsters, which is really, really nice. Another combat thing I want to say very quickly is if you guys can leave a like and subscribe, that'd be wonderful. And if you guys can follow my Twitter in the description below, that'd be great as well. So, yeah. Pot of Avarice is good. Recycles your stuff. 2 twins. This is just to destroy back row. Reborn and Rhoda. I'm not going to explain that. So, then we have 3 Alpha. Now, Alpha is going to age like a gem. Let me tell you what this card does if you don't know. And that is, you activate it, you tribute Satellarknight, you can negate a spell, trap, or a monster effect. So it's like a mini Solemn Judgment. You're playing 6 Solemn Judgments, basically. That's kind of how I see it. 3 Call of the Haunted. You can bounce this back with Triver, because when Triver hits the field, it's like a Black Rose, but it compulses everything instead. So if you reborn to get into it, or you reborn during end phase, and then you can make Triver Deltro somehow, or mostly Triver. You bounce this back to your hand because you're bouncing everything on field. You attack for 21, and then you have this in your hand so you can reset it. It's really nice. You can also bounce your Crackdown. Now, for anyone who played during 2015 earlier, Satellarknights used to play Fiendish Chain, and that was such a good card because you could bounce that back. Crackdown is an upgraded version because when you Fiendish Chain something, they could just link it away. Yeah, you negate the effect, but whatever, right? You can still bounce it back, but it's not as good. With Crackdown, you take their monster. You negate it and you take their monster, and then when you make Triver, you bounce back Crackdown. Crackdown's a very strong card, especially if you can keep recycling it. So, don't play Fiendish Chain. End of story. 3 Rivalry. Now, people are going to dislike the video on this. Honestly, this is a very good floodgate, very underrated. Each player can only control 1 type of monster. So, you literally activate this when they have, say, 2 or 3 monsters of different types. They have to send 2. And then they have to figure out a way to out this. If they can't out this, they're done. This, people have said GG when I flipped this multiple times. Imperial Order, the nice thing about this is, again, you could bounce it. I hate sounding like a broken record here, but they activate, say, Carta, like a Pot of Extravagance, right? You Imperial them, they lost their Extrav, let's pretend they have to put a mediocre board in pass or whatever, right? You make Triver. Yeah, you paid 700 during your standby, but this comes back to your hand, so you could set it with all your other cards. Your opponent doesn't know where it is, so they have to force it out somehow, or like try to bait it out. And you don't have to keep paying life points every 700. Along with when it's your turn next turn, you could activate your spells. So play Imperial Order. People say it's a tech choice. I think it's mandatory. It's just too good. 3 Solemn Judgment. And then the 2 strike, I like this ratio. Won't really change it too much. It's a 40 main deck, by the way, for those concerned. Also, I do giveaways on my Twitter, so if you guys want to follow my Twitter, that'd be wonderful. 1 Deltros. Well, let's go for this first. 3 Trigger. This card looks beautiful as an ultimate rare, by the way. It's Black Rose, but instead it bounces everything to the hand, so you can reuse your calls, your Imperial Order, Rivalry, whatever traps, along with, you know, monsters. And when it leaves the field, or it's, well, when sent to graveyard, not leaves the field, my fault, you get to reborn from your graveyard. So that's pretty good. You can also detach, discard a card from your opponent's hand. That used to be good, but honestly, with shit like spirals running around, I don't want to hit the resort. But hey, if you hit something like a Droll or like, I don't know, just be careful with its second effect. That's all I'm going to tell you. Then we have the 1 Deltros. This lets you pop a card on the field by detaching. And then when it's sent to graveyard, you get the special from deck or hand. So it has a lot of utility there. It's stronger. It's pretty good too. I like it. I think I only need really 1, and you can recycle it. Then we play 2 Dark Teller. Now, don't worry about the text. Here's what it does. These guys right here take 3 level 4s. This guy takes 2 level 4s. You detach and you discard a card, and then you can make one of them. So, like, you can make Trevor, basically. So, that's why you play. It's just, if you don't have the 3 monsters, that comes up at least once a game. So, then you have Satellarknight and Stellar Diamond. This thing says no to BA specifically, but basically, cards cannot be sent from the deck to the graveyard. That's already really good. If a card's going to be returned from the field to the hand, you can banish it instead, or it's banished. So, that's pretty good already. So, depending on how you combo this with Trigger and all that other stuff, it's good, but when a Dark Monster activates its effect, you can detach and again destroy. So, it's pretty good in that sense. It's pretty nice. It's any card that returns from the graveyard to the hand is banished instead. So, I apologize about that error. My fault. Then we play Utopia and Lightning. This is just to get over shit. You never know. I mean, it's pretty good to this day. You got Dagusto Emerald. This is just like smaller Pot of Avarice. When this card came back, the deck actually started performing well for me. It was very nice to recycle my materials. You have this and Pot of Avarice just to recycle your stuff and draw. Then you have Silent Honor Arc. This just takes your... This is like your Cerberus, but it's way better because it's 2000 attack, you detach 2, you get, say, one of their special summon monsters, and then if this should be destroyed, you can literally detach instead. So, it's pretty good. Then you have your Tornado Dragon, you pop shit. Not going to explain. It's really good, more back row removal. Then you have Exciton Knight. Your opponent really doesn't know how to deal with this sometimes. A lot of people like to forget that this is a card, which is really nice, but basically, you summon this, you get to blow up their field, or the whole field. It's pretty nice because it just helps you as long as they have more cards than you control. So this can really put you back in the game. Then you have Isolde and then Borreload. Isolde searches, Borreload, make something. Honestly, when April comes around, I'm going to revise the extra deck a little bit because it's not that links are necessarily bad, but we have very good rank 4 toolboxes. So I want to see what I want to do with that, along with, I may just replace these with better links. Like, say, a Boral Sword is something I've always considered. But, yeah. So, that's the video, guys. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed and subscribe. And I want to know what you guys thought in the comment section below.